Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. So we left off last episode here in the Druid Grove. Before we get started, I would like to mention that I did change out my keyboard. I've been using that mechanical keyboard for years. Obviously not the best for YouTube as far as the sound goes, because that clicking sounds very loud. However, it does have some features that I really like, and that's the reason why I've stuck with it for most of my time on YouTube. But I have decided to change over to another keyboard, at least for this series, perhaps for other series as well. Ones that I can, where I don't need that feature, particularly where I can switch the WASD keys with the arrow keys. I use that for Hearts of Iron 4 and EU4 and other games that don't let you use the WASD keys to move around. But yeah, I mention it because you'll probably notice that it's a lot quieter, but also because I'm very unfamiliar with this keyboard, so it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But yeah, in today's video, we're going to be talking to a lot of people, because there's a ton of people to talk to here. Now, what I'm going to do, when I play off camera, I talk to everybody, but that'll take forever for a Let's Play. And so we're only going to talk to people who are kind of important in some form or fashion. So we will not talk to everybody here, guys, but you can pretty much talk to every character that you see, and they'll have at least something to say. And it's very cinematic as well. It's not like, say, in BioWare games where you click on them and you just see the words above their head, and they don't really have that much to say. At the very least, it goes down into the cinematic view. We're going to start with these three who've been arguing for a little while.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Exactly. These types always need saving. We shouldn't sacrifice ourselves for them.
Fine! Let's sneak away like God's damned cowards. But if something happens to these people, it's on us. I hope you know that.
Alright, so we took the evil route there. I mean, it wasn't necessarily evil, but it fits with what we intend to do at this location. So we won't be helping the tieflings and the druids out. There's different routes you can go. There's two different kind of sides to this first act of the game. So the goblins are one side, and then the tieflings and the druids are the other. Clearly a good guy route and a bad guy route there. And we're going to be siding with the goblins, sort of. So since we won't be taking their side, it's best to reduce their numbers over here. But for right now, we'll continue to run amongst their midst and act as if we're friendly. I like that the Githyanki also had a unique thing to say there. So this is the next companion character, Will. So let's go ahead and have a chat with him, and this will allow us to recruit him as well.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this. You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship. You saw her then. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Her name is Karlach. An archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill.
I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her.
She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses. An excellent suggestion, but your party's full up. Still, when the time comes, call for the blade. I won't be long to answer.
Okay, so we actually will go ahead and recruit him. Now we can send him to the camp, and that's still recruiting him, but we want to go ahead and level him up. And so we got to send one of our characters home, which we'll send Nigel home, because this character is a warlock. So he's one of the caster classes, and not as good as a wizard.
Druid's Grove before. Magic weighs heavier here, seeking solace in root and soil. Grounding, one might say.
Characters often have something unique to say based on the location you're in as well, which is nice.
The wisdom of that decision, but I'll be in the camp then.
I hate how the characters always make you feel guilty every time you need to send them back to camp. Alright, so let's have them join up here.
I've seen your people in battle. I reckon you are no mere warrior, but a god's damned army. I'd be a fool to let you turn your back. Pledge me your talents, and I'll pledge you mine. I'll presume that's Githyanki for yes. Now let's move.
The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, Blade. Name strangers gave me. My friends call me Will.
Excellent. If we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you.
Alright, so we got his level up. So one interesting thing about Will is the fact that his entire storyline was changed from the early access storyline, and he also got a new voice actor. So one of these I like, and one of these I do not. So I didn't particularly like his story in early access. The story in the full version of the game is far, far better. Significantly better, as they changed up his background. They changed everything about this character, and honestly I think it was a good change. However, I do not like the voice actor, the new voice actor. The previous voice actor, in my opinion, was better. I think he did a much better job with the character, and so it is unfortunate that they changed the voice actors. They're somewhat similar, but I think the first one was better. But they had to re-record everything, since again they changed so much of his storyline. So I'm guessing that was the reason why. I don't think it was that they're actually unhappy with the voice actor. I think it was just a matter of, they had to re-record everything. So I think we're going to get the Witch Bolt. And the reason why is because Warlocks only get the 2 spell slots. Or at least early on they only had the 2 spell slots. I don't know if they get any additional ones. I haven't gotten far enough to see more than 2. So that does seem like a significant weakness. But they do have a few benefits. First of all, they always cast a spell at the highest level. So there's no like level 2, level 3, level 1 spell slots. Just whatever the highest level they can cast it, they do so. And so that's pretty powerful, because you look at like a level 5 wizard, they only have 2 level 3 spell slots. And then their other advantage is the fact that they get their spell slots back after a short rest rather than a long rest. So that also really kind of helps them out. But the Witch Bolt, what's nice about this is that you can keep using it, and so therefore it kind of makes their one of their 2 spell slots just a bit more useful for them, since they don't have very many. Another advantage of the Warlock is that they have the cantrip Eldritch Blast, which can be pretty powerful, and this allows you to upgrade it or get a different power. So many of these do upgrade that cantrip. So this one here will push creatures back by 15 feet. This one here allows you to use your charisma modifier, add to the damage that it does, and so we'll definitely want to go for that, because it just makes it do more damage. But you could also invest in something else, like speak with animals, be able to cast that at will. This here increases your deception and persuasion. This gives you the dark sight. You can cast this to get temporary hit points. Here's the disguise self spell, which you can cast anytime you want. There's another spell, one with the shadows. So yeah, there's some good bonuses here, some good options. We're gonna go with the Armor of Shadows, so that we can cast the Mage Armor. Though you can only do it if you're not wearing armor, which Will starts out with armor. So we won't actually get to use it until we find something for him to wear that is not considered armor. I think he's wearing light armor at the moment. But once he does, this is actually much better than just using this light armor here, at least early in the game. And so yeah, we're gonna get these two here. We can also replace a spell. So this is a major difference from the wizard or the cleric, where they can change out their spells whenever they want. The warlock and the sorcerer, they cannot change out their spells just at any time outside of combat. Instead, they have to do it while leveling up, and so it really reduces the options they have. But we're going to be leaving these two as is. But if we wanted to switch one out, we could. But I think we're good with what we currently have, so let's go and accept this. And then he'll get to level up to level 3 as well. Of course, the warlock already has their subclass selected. For his new spell, we're going to get the Cloud of Daggers. Pretty helpful one to have. But yeah, there's a lot of good options here. But yeah, we're going to get the Cloud of Daggers. And then we can also pick a Pact Boon. So we have 3 options here. Hack to the Chain allows you to summon 2 different types of, well, you can do the regular animals as well, but it has 2 options, like familiar options, that are not usually available, and my favorite one is the Imp, and so we might want to get that. There's also the Pact to the Blade, so that allows you to summon a weapon, or to bind one that you're wielding, making it magical. Or we can do the Pact to the Tome. This one's pretty good too. I told you guys there's multiple options for getting the guidance, and this is one of them. So the warlock can get this. He has a few other good spells he gets here as well. But I think what we're going to do is get the Pact of the Chain for the Imp, because there's other ways to get that guidance spell. There's some items that you can wear. And so this will allow us to summon imps. I'm not sure how this is pronounced, Quasit or Kazit or Quasit, but they're okay. They have the ability to scare enemies. They just don't have as much health. And so I prefer the Imp, because I got that 10 health. They do more damage as well. So yeah, I like these guys. They also fly, and they can turn invisible. So a lot of power is available. And so yeah, this is going to be really super helpful to have. So let's go ahead and get the Pact of the Chain. And then we could get rid of one of these spells to get an additional level 2 spell. Like maybe the Crown of Madness. I like having that one. Hold Person is pretty useful as well. Let me just see what we might want to get rid of here. I think we will get rid of this one, because we do have that Eldritch Blast as a cantrip. This is nice to have, of course, but kind of want the Crown of Madness. So that'll result in any creature that you cast it on attacking whoever's closest to them. And so the idea here is that you'd cast it on somebody who's close to one of their allies, so that they'll attack an enemy. Alright, so that'll get us to level 3 here. And again, we will not get level 4 for quite some time. Alright, so again, we can talk to all these people here, but we're only going to talk to one. And the reason why we're going to talk to this character is so that we can get an opinion boost with Lizelle. Because remember, those are much harder to come by. So if you can boost it, you should.
Step, parry, strike. Damn it! It's just not. Sorry. I've never seen your faces. Well, I should get back to it. Nothing but goblins in the wild out for blood, and the druids in here looking to kick us out. Or worse. We need to be ready for a fight, but I'm useless with a sword. Haratha Jack, and swing! Yes! You really know what you're doing. Found this by the road. Bet you'll put it to good use. I'll suffer embarrassment so long as I survive. I just hope the Druids won't make that harder than it is already. But I'll keep at it. Thank you. Oh, yes. When the time comes, it'll be nothing but battle cries from me.
She also gets inspired from this. Where are we at on our inspirations? We have 3 now. You know, the inspirations are great for the extra experience, in addition to being able to, you know, do an additional roll. But just taking a look at where we're at on their opinions already. So currently we're at 7 for Lizelle, 15 for Shadowheart. I find she's often the easiest to increase opinion with. And of course we just got Will, but he's already at 2 since he also liked that we're helping to train that, you know, wannabe soldier here. And so yeah, Lizelle, while she's certainly a more evil character, there's certain things she does like, you know, trying to help this guy out become a better warrior. So this next interaction here is actually part of Lizelle's storyline. This is with the tiefling Zuru.
I should speak up. By Mordai's eyes, more of them. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Lower.
You saw another Gith. Where?
On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us, for we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly, straight to the other side.
No twisting. Kin must have been in a hurry. The map. Show me. Up. You can keep your innards.
By the dead gods, are all Gith so brutal?
Brutal? Blood still flows through his own veins. I was positively gentle.
Alright, so Lizelle is, you know, she's Gith. But it's definitely a unique perspective here. Also playing as a Githyanki. In much of the early game, she does come across as very brutal and heartless, and she kind of is that. But there's a lot of humanizing and even humbling moments in the story for her. Alright, so let's go and chat with her about what we just learned.
The locals prove compliant. A useful trait.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
Tch. A shell so thin requires little to crack it. The teeth sling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. I am unfamiliar with the, well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps.
So, I think I mentioned this before, but some of Shadowheart's responses here just don't make a lot of sense when you're playing a Githyanki, I feel. Because these two, again, they have a very confrontational relationship. It goes to some interesting places in the game, but yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense that she is talking to us this way as if we're not a Githyanki. Yeah, there's one more character here that we need to talk to besides the leader that we're going to go into this room here to talk to. You know, we messed up before. I had Shadowheart selected, so we didn't get to talk to him from our own perspective. So we'll go back and talk to him, but there's one more person here for us to chat with.
If it isn't the talk of the camp. It's a rare day when I see one of you lot about. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! You look more green than yellow, Petal. Are you hurt, cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. I know Githyanki make a habit of paranoia, but 'tis just a healing potion. Yes, and you're as grumpy as I remember. No offense, love, but you don't look well. Are you all right? Oh, I've seen it all. I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Tell her. But if she pulls out a pot of oil, run.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but yes, I may have something at home. I've collected some interesting bits and bobs over the years. You'll have to stop by my house, just at the edge of the forest. Let me mark it on your map. I'll be heading back soon, so I can meet you there. Now, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother.
Alright, so this is a quest where we can go out to her shack to get some assistance. Now, one thing I didn't mention about the barter is that if you give them better deals, so let's say you trade them a value that's worth far more than what they're giving you, then it does increase their opinion, and the opinion does affect all the prices that they're willing to give you, like how they gauge the value of your goods as well as how they value their own goods. And so what you can do is give a trader who you're going to be working with a lot, give them really good deals, and then get their opinion up, and eventually it'll pay itself off. But you really should only do that with somebody you're going to trade with all the time for a long period of time. So perhaps you have a merchant in your camp. That might be a good one that you'd want to try and get opinion up with, higher attitude, so that way you can make much better deals on your trades. So we're going to go ahead and trade for this potion of greater healing. I don't know that we actually have any items to grant her. No. So we're just going to pay for it. It's always good to have one of these potions on you. It doesn't cost too much. See if there's anything else we want. I think that's it.
Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
So when I first played this game, I felt myself very conflicted with her. Because I initially just didn't trust her. She seemed like there's something about her that you shouldn't trust. And then I started feeling like maybe these are my own bigoted biases. It's just a woman living out in the middle of the edge of the forest, like a wise woman, a clever woman, as they might be called in history. And here I am, automatically assuming that she's a witch just because she makes potions and she knows a lot of stuff and she lives, out in what we'll find out is a swamp. And then we'll see a bit later. We have a choice we have to make, and those biases will come into play. Like, what do you think? How are you gauging her? Because you have to pick sides between her and somebody else. We'll see that a little bit later. So we need to talk to Zevlor again, since we didn't really get to talk to him much before.
Your help at the gate was appreciated. I'm Zevlor, and you're well met. Though I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business here, I'd see to it quickly. The Druids are forcing everyone out. This latest attack will only strengthen their resolve. There have been several attacks by different monsters. The Druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here. Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We are no fighters. We are refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after goblins and gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the descent. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. The High Overseer, our Grand Protector, signed a pact with devils. It dragged Elturel straight to hell. Lucky for us, a group of adventurers found a way to bring the city back. Afterwards, people looked at us and just saw devilkin. No different from the Druids here, really. I've tried. Korga, their new first Druid, won't see me. You, though. I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else. You're wounded. The Druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other Druids in the Inner Grove. They've withdrawn there to prepare this damn ritual of theirs.
Korga's a piece of work. Let's see if your wit surpasses your might.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, more of my people will die. You'll find the Druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense. Have you spoken to Korga?
Alright, so we need to trade for this Hellrider's Pride. So when you heal another creature, it gains resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage dealt by weapon throws. Also gives you the strength saving throw. So pretty useful to have. I don't know if we just want to purchase it because it's kind of expensive. But I think we're going to. And maybe get rid of, I don't know, we're just going to sell. Yeah, this is what we'll do. We'll just sell some of these scrolls. The scrolls are nice to have, of course. But we've got a lot of them. And so let's just get rid of a few of these. So that one's sometimes helpful. In very specific situations. Yeah, we'll sell this. Oh, he doesn't have any gold, so we need to buy it first. And just try and get some of our money back. And this was another thing that has changed from early access. Is the characters have significantly less gold than they used to. They used to have a ton of gold on them. Many characters. And that's, I think, what made gold so plentiful in the game, is that everybody had so much of it. And so now they want you to rely more on the bartering. And so they reduce the amount of gold that characters have.
Here we go.
And I don't recall if this was the case in early access, but you see that they have the gold in their inventory. And maybe I just didn't notice everybody having it before when I was trading with them. But yeah, it seems almost like that was something new. And what's really cool is if you kill any of these characters, including the merchants, then you can take all their stuff. And so let's say we killed that merchant over there. He would have all his goods on him.
Curious.
So there's some stuff hidden in this haystack. We could have actually discovered this by talking to these oxen here. We're still going to talk to them though, even though we found the pouch. Not much in here. I hate how you can't just select that. You gotta actually add it to your pile manually. I guess you could do the take all. That might work. But then you can just add that to your wares, like so. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to these oxen here. Because we haven't really done much of the talking to animals yet.
Wait.
Be gone. I am hungry.
Another one. What are you under there then? Ant? Or rocks? The keepers of this place, they change their form to fit their need. They become birds to hunt on the wing, bears to tear flesh with teeth. But for me, only oxen, only same old hay. And I cannot even eat it, because the horned ones hide their shiny bits inside. Hiding things. Thinking they're clever. Not clever. Sometimes I eat the shiny bits, and they have to go looking for them on the other end.
You're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
No, you are incapable. I'd so love to see them try. I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this, moo. Tick-tock.
Funny.
So yeah, the animals sometimes have something interesting to say, can help point out secrets and stuff like that. We are going to talk to this child here. And I'll show you guys why here in a minute.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks. You find the edges of a concealed entrance. No trigger or handle, though. No way to open it.
And so yeah, that's why, because we need to find this concealed hatch. And we're gonna go ahead and talk to this tiefling Mattis as well, just because this is a funny part here.
Whoa! Hey, can't say I've ever seen someone like you before. You some kind of elf or something? So not an elf. Okay. Anyway, to business. Hold out your hand. I want to show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. Call it. Heads or tails? Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap too. Interested? Okay, fair. Let's go again. Heads or tails? Call it. Heads it is. There. Happy? Really? I mean, fine. Heads or tails? We got tails. There. Happy? Mister, come on. Okay. Heads or tails? We got tails. There. Happy? Fine. Heads or tails? Heads it is. There. Happy? Heads or tails? Heads it is. There. Happy? You're killing me here, mister. You really are. Just take the ring, huh? Free sample. Now, you want to take a look at the other stuff I got? Or maybe you just want to go? Thank the gods.
So, yeah, I just found that funny, making her flip it over and over again. This is, of course, a scam here.
What do you think? I think I did good. There you go, Sylph.
I don't know if they stole from us. I think they did. Because we didn't see anything. There's usually normally like a perception check. Where you catch them like stealing from you. And that didn't happen this time. So I'm assuming we had something stolen from us. Not entirely sure. Because I didn't see the thing pop up about failing the perception check either. But just based on their words there, it seems like they were successful. But yeah, some funny dialogue there. Particularly if you're other classes and you can kind of catch them in that. Or if he just said different things.
Let my daughter go right now!
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Oh, let me through, Mragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out! We need to get Arabella out, now!
You heard the guards. They're waiting on Korga to give word.
I'd sooner trek through the 9 hells than trust that snake! Ugh!
Arabella tried to steal their idol. Druids lost their damn minds about it. They need it for their precious ritual.
Oh, it's all my fault. I told her I wished the wretched thing would just disappear, or better yet, explode.
Now Arabella's being judged by a bunch of druids who hate us. That's not right.
Sounds like she made the fatal mistake of getting caught. We shouldn't get involved.
Great, another one.
We'll figure something out. We always do.
So basically, that little girl tried to steal their artifact here, the idol of Sylvanas, which they need for this ritual that they're doing to kick all the tieflings out.
Come, Magrin, give him a chance. You, get back! Kick back, force my hand, and I'll show you its claws.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna talk to the leader of the druids in here. Before we do that, this is the main character over here, Volo.
Can it be a Githyanki? Oh, what a delight. If I was less educated, I presume to ask what you're doing on the Sword Coast. Indeed. Some merciless kin of yours made sure of that some years ago. Though at present, my curiosity lies elsewhere than the vagaries of the children of Gith. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
My, a scholar after my own heart. Spent much time among goblins? Shocking little creatures, aren't they? Still, there's quite a bit more to them than most accounts allow. I myself plan to record the world's most extensive catalogue of their means and habits. A blue ocean of information, I dare say. Now, I've a few more questions, if you don't mind. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? Witness declined to comment on nature of dragon. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal! Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to dawdle.
Oh, never you mind. Who needs mercy when you've a quick tongue, And an invisibility potion stashed in your back pocket?
Until we meet again.
So that actually reminded me, there's one interaction back here that we missed. So we're going to go do that real quick because it might be a way to get some approval. I don't recall. That's through here. This is basically their prison. And they have a goblin prisoner locked up. And we'll see some characters that we saw last episode already in here. A little cutscene involving them.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with. Doesn't even matter if you kill me. I'm chosen by the Absolute, I am. I'm blessed. Here it comes, you little beast.
Alright, so this will also give us an opportunity to use our Speak with the Dead spell, though I think we actually have to open this first. Just gonna lockpick it. Use that guidance, make sure we succeed here. And we'll loot her. Well, there's nothing on there. I suppose it makes sense since she's a prisoner. And then, yeah, let's rise her up.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Says toughest in the tribe. Everything, all of us. Ragslin, waterfall, bridge. Boss Ragslin and the Drow. Scouting, snooping, tieflings. Don't fight. Fair.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
So you're gonna only ask a corpse 5 questions in total. Also, if you murdered somebody, they generally will not answer your questions. So this is something that we might do if we have the time next episode. So you can come over here and there's a secret entrance through here and a few things you can do. Some loot and some enemies. You can go all throughout here using your jump ability. This is something that sometimes can be kind of hard to keep in mind in this game, is that you have that jump ability. That'll also let you go through this area, which is behind this building here. And so it might be something we do. But yeah, it's something I always got to try and like actively keep in mind, is the fact that you have that jump, and it allows you to access areas that you wouldn't normally be able to access in an RPG like this. The jumping is really a game changer, honestly. And then with us, we can jump 3 times further, so it really opens up the locations we can get to with that jump. Alright, so you know what, we're actually going to do this over here next episode, because there is a fight over there. I'd like to end this one by first talking to this bird over here, just because they're kind of silly. And then we're going to talk to the leader of the Druids, or the current leader of the Druids. And that'll really allow us to kind of have this episode focused on the Druid Grove and all the conversations.
Shh, I'm concentrating. Does this look good? Is the coin in the middle? Yes. Yes, you're right. That's it.
So yeah, we can steal the stuff in there. Could have kicked them or convinced them to let us get the coin there. Yeah, just a silly bird. Here's a silly pig over here, Tusk.
I thought you were Halcyon.
The boar prances around, haunches clenching and unclenching impatiently.
Where's Halcyon? Promise me a mate.
So yeah, again, it's often not like critical stuff that you get from talking to the animals, but it's a whole element of the game that you just miss out on if you didn't have that ability.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat? I will imprison the devil. And I will cast out every stranger. We will speak soon enough. First, judgment must be passed. The parasite eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Korga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it. Halcyon is gone. I am first Druid now. I will take control and prove my authority. Now, Wrath!
No!
Ithias! Tila, to me!
Gone. By the gods, Korga, what have you done?
Bury the remains. Continue the rite.
And the parents? They're just outside.
This outsider will take word once I've spoken to him. We must focus on the rite.
She's dead.
Child for that.
Korga, we are guardians,
Let's get
not
in and out
killers.
of this place before
Spare your
anybody
tears.
decides.
There's a lot of ways we could have avoided that from happening. So it looks like she actually succeeded in her role here. So that save was because Shadowheart is terrified of wolves. And so she could have got a negative penalty there. She hadn't succeeded in that. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to end that. If we had went with any of those options and succeeded in the role, or, you know, we had already succeeded in reading her mind, we could have went with that choice, and any of those would have resulted in the child being saved. It's pretty easy to avoid that from happening, but we stood by because that's what we wanted to have happen here, because we're a terrible person. Honestly, this game, you can be such a bad person in this game. I sometimes have difficulty with it because some of the things you can do are just so evil. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and chat with the leader here. Maybe we'll chat with the wolf as well. And then there could be benefit of chatting with him. Yeah, so we'll go and talk to all those characters.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster?
Monster? Too kind. A demon, more like.
First you stay silent, then you speak truth. To think an outsider could surprise me twice over. A shame the grace period ends. The Viper's fangs have been bared. She must guard her brood. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanus, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders. Then I was wise to grant you entry. And you'd be wise to heed my words. I want you to provide your services to Zevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike. Then they soon know the sting of my venom. Get out. We have no more business.
And if it comes to a fight, you'll not shy away from bloodshed, I hope.
Since when did we become killers?
Another stranger come to vex me. What will you do? Hunt me? Grab my tail? Shout until my head hurts? Silence. Your help is not required. Not by me, at least.
So, with the speaking to animals, I talked about in my sorcerer playthrough that I didn't have that ability. What I've been doing is just using potions. Those potions are actually fairly available by many of the merchants. So there's a lot of merchants that have it, and so I've gotten like, I don't know, like 20 in my inventory, so I could just drink one of those potions every day because they last for the entire day. And that's how I've been able to still be able to make use of that feature without, you know, devoting, you know, like a feat or anything, you know, an item in order to get that spell. And so it's pretty helpful. So you can see that this child is glowing here. The reason why is once you cast to Speak with the Dead, you can cast it all day, essentially. So when you cast it once, you can recast it throughout the day. And what's really nice about doing it that one time early in the day is so that, you know, any bodies you come across will glow if they're like an important one for you to be able to raise up. And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and cast on this child. I don't know what the child have to say that's useful here, but generally, they only glow if they have, like, some type of information for you.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Not me. Mole.
The child is silent. There's no answer to give.
Elturel. Everyone was angry. We ran away.
Okay, so that mole character she mentioned is a child that is in that little secret area that we revealed but couldn't find a way to get into. We'll later find an access point there, a way to access that area. So we're not going to talk to that character. This character, though, might have something useful for us.
Mercy on us, Sylvanus. Mercy. Mercy.
Mercy. Preventable. The sickening result of sickening beliefs. We let this happen. We let this snake replace our leader. Master Halsin. Perhaps goblin caught, perhaps dead. He'd set Mistress Korga back in line. Hold her to task, stop this damned ritual. More will die if the rite is finished. So many more, sent into a world gone mad. Ah, I see. You will find her deeper in the caves. It is what Korga desires. I doubt it is what Sylvanus wants.
So, Nettie is who we want to talk to next. I suppose we can fit it into today's episode. This is a little bit longer of a conversation, so I was a bit apprehensive about doing it. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and squeeze it in.
I see you. Just give me a moment.
This medicat. There. It's up to her now. Life or death.
Now, what was it you needed?
You found her,
But I still don't know what she can do for you. Why are you asking?
a tadpole. A mind flayer tadpole.
That's a serious condition. Come, follow me. I might be able to help.
We need to be quick. This way.
And so yeah, it's important to talk to her so you get access to this area here. She also has information that I think we mostly already have.
This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins. Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after. No. That was Master Halsin. A pity you got me instead of him. He understands these things. Studied them. Still, we have options. All right. Let's see what we can do. It might. But first things first. Tell me about your symptoms. Have you noticed anything strange happening?
Looking closer, you realize you've seen this thorn in the wilds. It's Kalimvor's kiss, a briar from the Dale lands, and a deadly poison.
I want to help you, but I can't unless you work with me. So, has anything unusual happened to you? Victims can identify each other. Not that the others know they're victims, of course. How'd you pick up the parasite? Halsin was desperate to find where all this was happening. A mind flayer ship? But Master Halsin was sure. Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead. But you seem like a good soul. You deserve a chance to save yourself. This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms. I don't have a cure. Only a way out. I'm sorry for misleading you, but I had to be sure you weren't a threat before I told you everything. Now, do I have your word or not? I hope it doesn't come to that, but thank you.
Here. You know, I've spent my life treating folk and never once saw a mind flare infection. Then suddenly, there's dozens of you. Maybe more. Master Halsin and I were tracking them, studying them, trying to figure out what the hells was going on. Because you should all be changing. There should be a small army of mind flayers out there. But you're not. Weird powers aside, you seem perfectly normal. For one, that thing in your head is like nothing we've ever seen from mind flayers. It's one of their worms for sure. But this one gives you powers. Telepathic connections. And it doesn't turn you into one of them. Not yet, anyhow. Hard to say, but there's a lot we don't know. Infected, folks like you, have been converging on an old temple of Selûne, and I've no idea why. When Master Halsin heard the adventurers were heading that way, he saw a chance to get answers, joined on the spot. Whatever he found there, he didn't make it back. The thing is, I've sent birds to find him, but the place is rotten with goblins. None of us can even get close. You, though, you're one of them. Technically speaking, I mean. They won't kill someone carrying their parasite. If you can find Halsin and get him out of there, we can discover what he learned. And perhaps he can save your life. How's that sound? The way I see it, you have two options. Halsin, or that wyvern poison. I don't envy your choice, truly. But this is the hand fate's dealt you. Thank you. It would mean everything to the Grove. To me. I wish I could tell you more, but only those adventurers know what happened out there. All I can say for sure is they all went to the old temple of Selûne, and Master Halsin didn't make it back. Good luck out there. And if things start to go bad, remember the vial. Remember your oath.
So I think, as a Gith, we would be willing to drink that poison in order to avoid...
Take a closer look.
In order to avoid getting infected. Now we're gonna have to do all of this next episode. So we'll talk to him, raise him up and talk to the drow, read through these. There is two things we could do real quick. So the first is to go ahead and call forth our imp. I did forget to do that. You guys take a look at what the imp looks like, because we will be having a combat section in the next episode. And then also I wanted to take a look at where we're at on opinion. Seen a lot of changes to the opinion increases with our companions, and you can see it here, but it's nice to get that overall number here. You see Will's opinion is moving towards 0 already. We've got Lizelle at 30, which is pretty high for this point. We've been working a lot on getting her opinion up. And Shadowheart's at 17. Yeah, Lizelle, that's a very high opinion for early in the game here. So yeah, we'll raise this drow up and talk to him and read all these books and stuff in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.